What I'm gonna show you is the ad system that will put millions for your business. This is the same system that my clients pay me 7.5k USD for this. Guys, I wanna get straight to the point. This ad system is mainly made for service-based businesses. So if that's not your case, please stop watching right now. I want to keep a certain quality of people inside of here, okay? So, first of all, let me show you what an ecosystem actually is, because I see a lot of people are talking about ecosystems and shit like that, but what actually is? An ecosystem is just a circle full of things. There are many components that can form something, okay, that can create an ecosystem. A funnel is something like this. An ecosystem is more of something like this, okay? So, in our ecosystem, there are mainly, let me show you. There are mainly leads, followers, PIFs, low buying intent leads, high buying intent leads, people that are gonna waste your time. There are a ton of things, okay? There are two ways of doing things. There is the old way, which is something that I still see going on in the market. Okay, so VSLs, funnels, cold DMs, boost posts, things that are not working anymore. Guys, let's be honest, it's 2025. How are you expecting somebody to go through like a 20 minutes funnel or like 20 minutes VSL? Sorry, like that doesn't make any sense. The new way of doing things is top of the funnel ads, nurturing mechanisms in place, conversion mechanisms in place. Guys, this is something that not, to be honest, not that many people are doing this, but those who are doing that are absolutely smashing it. Because guys, today in the market, this is what is happening. People that just run ads, they take all the traffic from the ads to a VSL, which is usually like a 20 minutes long VSL, which doesn't make any sense. They also have an opt-in, so you get all of their data, and they also try to pitch you for a call. Then there's the thank you page. Then there are like endless emails, which is something that you guys don't want to have inside of a business, because this just gets like zero trust. And just keep in mind that the average cost per booked call on a VSL funnel is around $200. Sorry. So guys, is it really worth it? Like that, is that the kind of business that you want to run? It doesn't make any sense to me. And also, the people that are going through this funnel, they already know that you're trying to sell them something. And people like to buy, but they don't like to be sold on something. That is the reality. They don't want they don't want you to convince them into buying something. So guys, it doesn't make any sense. With the funnel that I'm gonna show you, you can turn cold leads into warm leads ASAP, guys, tremendously fast. That's how you can do it, which is completely crazy if you think about it, guys. Everything that we optimize in the ecosystem is the infrastructure that is gonna make you able to make a shit ton of money. Because guys, this is not just like running simple ads and it stops there. No, there's something more to this, guys. The first pillar is content. Content, guys, is the first thing. I will never stop to emphasize content, because if you don't have content in place, you can't run the system. Okay, it's gonna be absolutely hard to run the system if you don't have content. I'm talking about short form content. I'm talking about long form content. There are the two main types of content that you need to be running if you actually want to make money in 2025, which is independent from this ad system. These are like this is a non-negotiable thing that you have to do. You're gonna post belief shifting content, some content that can take an idea from something to something else. That's what belief shifting content is, okay? And new paradigms installation. Once I shift your beliefs, I want to install new paradigms into your brain, into the way that you're thinking, so that you can be sold on my method or my opportunity on my service. Okay, so I'm not pitching something to you, but I'm just making you realize, okay, this is what you're doing, this is why it's wrong, this is what others are doing, this is why it's working, this is what you can do to do that. That's the same thing. So it's more of like content to show you something. It builds status, because you see everybody else that is doing that and is making like good amounts of money, and you'll be like, okay, fuck, I want to be like that guy. So I can install new paradigms into you. Like your barrier of your sales barrier, your sales guard is just getting lower and lower and lower, even with content, because everybody knows today that if you're posting content, you're trying to sell them something. You're trying to give some free value to make them aware of something, to then make them buy your service or your product, whatever the thing may be. Okay. So content, guys, is a non-negotiable thing. You just gotta post content in 2025, or else how are you expecting people to be aware of your existence, basically. Stories, guys, story sequences. This is one of the most converting assets that you can possibly have. If you're posting story sequences every single day, you're on the you're on the right path. Sorry. So let me show you the story sequence that I made for a client of mine. Okay. First point, visual hook, Stripe. They're like 6,000. No, in euro is gonna be, in dollars it's gonna be like 7k right here in like 30 minutes or something. She has a she has a completely different offer. Nothing that is like really a ticket. We're rebuilding everything, but you know, I'll keep you updated on that. Text hook right here. Credibility plus capitalization on awareness of pattern interruption. With this question right here, I'm interrupting a pattern. Then I'm always putting like the arrow for this reason right here to make people aware of something visual. So they see like something visual, they're gonna be okay. Fuck, let me click, let me scroll. Then here, there's basically the body where when I'm explaining like the entire situation. I wrote something before. I don't know why it's not here anymore, but lol. And the call to action at the end. So blah 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 blah. Answer to the story with a word, and I'm gonna contact you. It's as easy as that. Story sequences are one of the most incredible and important assets to have inside of a business because you can share insights, you can have conversations with people, you can do Q&As, you can just share the data that you're seeing for the things you're doing. You can use stories for quite a lot of things. Whether you're launching something, pre-launching, hyping, sharing things, sharing your life, you can do quite a lot of things. So be as active as possible with your stories because that's gonna help a lot with this entire ad system. Then we have the profile optimization because guys, the profile optimization is basically your landing page. We're not doing an opt-in funnel, which means that you don't have to have data like the opt-in for the data. You don't have to have like a landing page. But IG is mainly your landing page. So make sure to have everything optimized for that. So the bio needs to be optimized. It needs to stand out from everything else. It needs to be like, okay, fuck, this guy has some authority, has some credibility with the bio itself. The highlights, guys. You're gonna have like a really great profile, like some good looking profile, a good looking profile photo picture, some links in the bio, maybe a call to action like watch this training on how I made $100,000 in 2 seconds, whatever it is. So guys, make sure to have a really optimized profile because that's really gonna help with your business. Keep in mind also guys that ads can actually get you way more people in target than with content. The good thing with ads that ads first of all are predictable. Second of all, you can actually choose the target that you want to use. You can choose the people that you want to watch your ads, which is completely amazing. With the system, you have the ability to predict the kind of quality that comes to the door thanks to the power of ads. Also, this makes you able to get unlimited qualified leads that will convert at scale thanks to the way that you set the ecosystem. Okay. So ecosystem is basically made of the content, of the profile, of the stories, of the messaging, of everything that we're talking about, okay? Let me show you some numbers, okay? Usually 3% of the market are ready to buy a 5K service, 4K service, whatever your service could be, okay? So let's say that you have 300 leads. Let's say that the cost per follower is around $1 to $2. Let's say that you have 90 conversations, okay? You have a setter, the setter follows the entire conversational workflow, which is crucial for these guys. If you don't have a conversational workflow in place, I were expecting a setter to know what to say in what way, sorry. So let's say they get 50 replies, 45 replies. You get on 10 calls, for example. You close 4 sales from these 10 calls. You just made 20K just like this. With what? Let's say $600 in ad spend. Let's say 1K if we want to stay like really hike. Crazy ROAS, guys. Crazy ROAS, which is not even the crazier thing, because there's still something else that I'm gonna talk about in a couple of minutes. Okay. The cool thing about this system is that you spend money. And this money feeds the distribution, the content distribution, so that you have way more data on the organic part itself, your audience, and you can get data about the ads. So you can make better decision around data, and once you have the leverage to get a better decision thanks to data, so the output that you get is based on the input that you're putting in, which means that more money you spend, more data you get, more understanding of the business you get, better decision you can have, more money you can get. This is the flywheel. Let's look at that way. And you also have a lower CAC, because once you can make better decision, once you have better data, you can actually understand things that you need to do, which means that this gives you like an overview around your entire business, which means that you have to rely on organic content, on cold DMs and shit like that, when you can just spend money on ads, get data, have a solid team of 3 people, you and maybe a setter and a closer, and that's it. You don't have to do anything else. It's as easy as it looks like. So I want to emphasize this, guys. Info business, doing business, is not that hard when you know how to do it. That's the cool thing about this, okay? So the things that we notice working the best is just the easiest one, okay? One offer, one outcome, one messaging, and a lot of credibility. Guys, there is nothing that is hard. But now we're here, so let me show you the system and how it actually works, okay? First point, feedback layer. Here we optimize the strategy based on the metrics that we get. So We run usually 5 ads, 5 creatives, 5 different creatives, completely different creatives. We see what's working, what's not working. Then we just cut those that are not working. We choose the new one and we just iterate on that. So we create 5 variables of that with an angle, 5 variables of that with another angle, and we just constantly test. Guys, there's not a point where we don't test anymore. We just say like, okay, these ads are working, let's use them. No, guys, we're currently testing. We're constantly testing. As soon as we see that something is changing in the market, maybe the costs are going a bit up, a bit down, we understand why, we have the data, so we know what it is, and we just test, we constantly test. That's why we never run out of options. That's why our acquisition always keeps going up, for this easy reason. That's why my clients are printing money, for this exact reason, because we're constantly testing. We're never stopping. We never say like, okay guys, you have the ads that are working, let's focus on something else. No, ads and acquisition is always the main focus. Second, the follow-up layer. Nurture leads and increase LTV. Guys, you can't always you can't always like run behind your leads. That's something that is just not sustainable. Whether you're running ads, whether you're posting content, whether you're doing cold DMs, like that's just something that can't be always done. You have to optimize for not how many leads you can acquire, but how much money can you get out of a single client. So what is the average LTV that you get per client, and how you can optimize that LTV? How can you make somebody stay with you for the longest amount of time possible and spend the most amount of time the most amount of money possible? That's what we also optimize for. Third layer, the conversion layer. We convert leads into customers. Guys, how will we do this? With the entire ecosystem that I just showed you. Okay, we have the content, we have the conversational flows, we have the converting assets in place, we have an optimized profile, a lot of credibility. That's what we make money for our clients. It's as easy as that. Content layer builds authority and warms traffic. What I was telling you before, guys. Content, it's as easy as that. I don't want to overcomplicate this too much, because I could say like a lot of words and be like really sophisticated with the terms. I use something really hard, something that is not really digestible, but I want you guys to understand this in the easiest way possible. So I'm just gonna make it as easy as possible. Traffic layer, we generate initial awareness. Guys, it's as easy as that. I just reverse engineered the entire process, but even if you do it from this part, it's always gonna be the same thing. You get traffic, you have the content layer, you convert the leads, you nurture and increase the LTV, and you optimize the strategy based on metrics. But everything is data driven. If you don't have data and if you don't know how to read data, you're fucked up in this market. Bro, I'm gonna tell you, you're fucked up. The system prints money for 2 reasons. Even if it looks easy, it's complex enough for a lot of people not to get access to it, which means less competition. If there's less competition or something, there's more supply, there's more demand, and also you're gonna make way more money because nobody is leveraging the system. In 2018, maybe nobody was using VSLs. Like, not a lot of people were using VSL, but those that were using VSL can print money. Once the thing gets saturated, the costs go up. The people just try to invent something new. There is way too much competition. They just quit, maybe. Who knows? The system is an amplifier because it doesn't depend on the ads only, but on the entire infrastructure, which means that it's not just about running ads, having a good copy, creating a good creative. It's also about the entire infrastructure. So everything that is under the business, the content, the systems, the messaging, and everything else. Okay. This system is also good for the LTV. Guys, this is a fucking LTV multiplier, because let's just say that you can launch micro offers constantly. So it's not something evergreen. You can also do micro launches within the retargeting campaigns only. You can do micro launches within the retargeting campaigns only. You have a lot of data, which means that the buyer psychology, you can use the buyer psychology ascension. Okay, so everybody sooner or later is gonna convert because they're in your ecosystem. They can't escape out of it, guys. It's like a fucking prison. You can target till the fucking end, till they buy something. You can do quite a lot of shit because you basically acquired their attention. They can't do anything else. And the cool thing is that your profit doesn't rely on constant acquisition. That's what I was saying before, because you can optimize for LTV. Depends on what are the plans for your business, but you can actually optimize for LTV. Guys, this system is actually cracked. It's really cracked. So if you want my help and if you want me to come in your business, plug and play all the systems, all the infrastructures that we have, and implement these ad systems within your business so that you can make a lot of money predictably, just send me a message, book a call, and I'm gonna reply. So guys, thanks so much for your attention, and I wish you all an amazing day.